Okay, so let's take all of this stuff you learned about sets and symbols and all this fun stuff, and let's look at a couple example problems. We have to read the directions. So we got Hector here. He's entered the following names into his contact list of his new cell phone: Alicia, Brissa, Steve, Dawn, and Ellis. He created two sets. One set he called B because those names began with a vowel, and the second set he called E because they ended with a vowel. So let's look at the list of outcomes for set B. What names begin with a vowel? So we have Alicia, that definitely begins with a vowel. I'm going to put a comma for the next element. Brissa does not begin with a vowel. Steve does not begin with a vowel. Dawn does not, but Ellis does. So we'll put Ellis in this set as well. Next set is the list of outcomes of E. So these are names that end in a vowel. Let's put our curly bracket. Alright, names that end in a vowel. Alicia ends in a vowel. Brissa ends in a vowel. Steve ends in a vowel. Dawn does not, and Ellis does not. So Steve is our last element in that set. Okay, next question. List the outcome of B. Remember, this upside down U looking symbol means intersect, or what they have in common. So what do both sets have in common? B intersect E would be, well, Alicia's in both, and that's it. So that is what they have in common. Now it wants us to draw a Venn diagram to represent the situation. Anytime you draw a Venn diagram, you want to draw a box for the universal set, and then we have two different scenarios. We have beginning with a vowel, and we have ending with a vowel. So now all we have to do is record the names where they belong. So the first thing I always like to do with Venn diagram is make sure I list out the overlapping pieces first. So our first overlapping piece is going to be, our only overlapping is Alicia. So right, Alicia in there. And then from there, we just have to find all the other pieces. What else was in set B? Well, Ellis was also in set B, so we go there. And what was in set E? Brissa and Steve. Now, are we leaving anyone out from the list of contacts? Is there anyone that we didn't list in either one of these? Yeah, Dawn. So we're going to put Dawn not in either of those sets, but he's still in the list of contacts, which is our universal set. So he goes outside of that Venn diagram. Every contact in his list of contacts is included. Number 5 says list the outcomes of B union E. So we want to list out both B and E together. This means union, which means put together. So we have to look at putting whatever's in B together with whatever in E. So if I look over here, in B I have Ellis and Alicia, and then in E I also have Alicia, but because I already wrote Alicia, I don't want to write her name twice. So I don't want any repeating elements. Since I have Alicia once, I don't need to write her again. And then also in E I have Brissa and Steve. So I'm going to write Brissa and Steve. And that's it. So notice there are 4 people listed inside both these circles. So the union of those are those 4 people listed. Alright, the next question says list the outcomes of B, and then it has this little apostrophe. So we went over that apostrophe means the complement. And complement means what is not in B. So if I go over to the Venn diagram here, we have to look at what names are not in circle B. So what names are not in that circle? And those names would be Brissa, Steve, and Dawn. So my B complement would be the set of Brissa, Steve, and Dawn. And that's our set there. Okay, now this last set is a list of outcomes of B, and remember this symbol here means union. So we're unioning B and E. But then, once we find that union, we have this apostrophe, which means complement. So what we want is everyone that is not in the union of B and E. So who is not in both of those sets? Well, the only name not in both of those sets, or in either of those sets really, is Don. So this answer, B union E complement, is just simply Don. And set notation there. These problems are done just like order of operations. You do what's in the parentheses first, and then you do what's outside of the parentheses. So we did the union first. We found that that was these four names here. And then we said, okay, well, I want the complement, what's not in the list of those four names, and that was Don. Alright, so continuing on this page, you guys have a few practice problems. I think I might want to take a quick look at some of those with you in the next video.